What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Talk That That Poscast. Today's topic is another dope topic because, as always, I try to keep it with topics that affect us all. General conversation, real conversation. And this topic is dope because people meet, people fuck, people have good times. Sometimes people get tricked into relationships and it's not what they think it is, and it leads to children. And sometimes the children, aren't always accepted by both parties and it's one-sided. And, that leads us to the topic where we're at today, which is, should a woman keep a baby that a man doesn't want? Now, it's personal for a lot of people. Everybody has to make their own decision based on what they feel is best for them. But at the end of the day, it is a child involved, so I hope that the decisions that are made are beneficial for everybody. Not to prove a point or because, it's my body, I'm going to do what I want and this and that. And, a lot of things come into play. But overall, the main objective, I guess, would be, what's most beneficial for the child. Now, of course, as always, I'm not a doctor, and anything I say is my own personal opinion, but thinking logically, if a woman chooses to have a baby by a man that doesn't want the baby, personally, I feel that she should be able to provide, without the man. Now, that is a personal thing. But it is also my personal opinion that whatever happens, eventually, as a man, you should feel like, okay, I need to step up. That's personal. Again, personal. Everybody makes their own decision based on how they feel. But ladies, what you have to take into consideration is when a man says he doesn't want something, it should mean the same exact thing it means when you say you don't want something, And once again, make your own decisions, but everybody likes to say, put your foot in the other person's shoes. Well, there's your chance. Because you got to understand, when you say, okay, I'm going to have this baby anyway, now you're expecting certain things of this man. You're expecting certain things to take place just because, it's the right thing to do, and everybody doesn't operate like that. So the reasons I personally feel that, you should make the logical decision to have it or not have it based on, you as a woman. Because when a man feels like he doesn't want a child, a lot of times it can be because of the things that he's seen you. And that's just being honest. It's my personal opinion. It's not, of course I know people go, whatever. That's, do what you do. But you have to understand when you have, especially if you have other children, men will watch how you interact with your own children. And a lot of times that will determine if they want to have a baby with you. If I see that you're neglecting a child or a man, period, that sees that you're neglecting a child that's already here, trust me, ladies, it's going to affect how he feels about bringing a child into the world with you. Now, beyond just the personal things, you got to understand there's a bunch of other reasons. Responsibility. Some men don't want that. Some men do not want to be responsible for any other person. And that's just what it is. When you bring a child into the world and you decide, okay, this is what we're going to do, you have to be responsible for that child up until a certain point. And it doesn't really stop, but at least up until a certain point in his life, that child is expecting you to be there, to hold a certain amount of responsibility in their life until they're able to do it for themselves. And some men aren't willing to do that. So when a man says he doesn't want to have a baby and you say, okay, well, I'm going to have it anyway, whatever, then you have to understand that you're forcing him to step into something that he really doesn't want to. And, it's not fair to him, and it's not fair to the neglected child either. So if you think it's going to be a smooth road, then, you're sadly mistaken. And it's not me talking you into unaliving anything because it's your own personal thing. It's what you want to do. But I'm just helping you understand that there's a bunch of reasons why a man will say he don't want to have a baby with you. And responsibility is one of them. Then you have others that's just scared. You have some men that are scared of being a dad. Never had a dad. Don't know how to be one. Never saw what a dad is supposed to do. So how do you expect me to be one? I had no model for what a dad is. Now, of course, some men will step up and figure it out, but we're talking about reality, ladies. Every man is not ready to step up to that plate. Every man is not ready to say, okay, let's go. And a lot of times it has to do with that fear. Fear of failure will keep a lot of men from doing things way quicker than women. And that's just being honest. Failure for men, we take it a different way. And that's just what it is. So asking a man to ignore what he really feels and just go ahead and step up to the plate, it's not really fair to him. Especially if he's scared. So you have to take all of these things into accountability. Some men feel like their lifestyle is going to change. It's a lack of freedom. Things have to change. I can't go out as often now. I got to be dad. I got to be in dad mode. You know? Some people don't want that. So you're asking, or you're not even asking when you decide to just have a baby when a man has said, he doesn't want it. Like, these are just some of the things that you have to understand and take into accountability. Because every man isn't just a scumbag. Oh, he didn't do the right thing. And no, it's not always that case. Because sometimes it's not a relationship at all. Sometimes we just having fun, or you're just having fun. And this was never supposed to happen like that. But it did. So these are the conversations that take place. And everybody is not mature enough to deal with it. Everybody is not in the right state of mind. And everybody love to say, oh, he could have put on the condom, he could have wore a condom. And you're absolutely right. But she also could have said, put on the condom. So you just got two motherfuckers that didn't think about condoms. And this is the result of that. Which leads us to these questions. Like, this conversation is one that people don't have. They don't have this conversation. A decision is just made and everybody has to live with it. But a logical conversation will probably avoid a lot of things. Because a woman will look, a man, I'm not saying all women, so don't think that this is about, just all women. No, but there are women that fall into the category that will look you right into your face and say, oh, I don't need you for nothing. And then you end up on child support. And that's not fair either. Especially if a conversation was had. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. What I said, I stand on from the beginning. If you decide to have a baby after a man says he doesn't want to have a baby, you should financially be able to support that baby without the help of that man. And that's just how I feel. Of course, people aren't going to agree, but it's just what it is. Some men are scared to have babies because of what their family was like. Everybody don't enjoy or love their family the way they're supposed to. And we all know that. Sometimes family is the worst. We done all been through situations with family. So that whole family bond and that whole family dynamic, some men don't have that. Some men don't even look forward to the whole aspect of having a family. That's why you have men in their 40s and 50s and 60s that have no children. They ain't married. They ain't trying to. They're not even because once you step over into that, then there's a lot of things you can't do anymore. You can't spend your money on the frivolous things, or not even frivolous because it doesn't make it frivolous because other people view it as, oh, he don't need it. No, whatever you into. But you can't spend your money on what you're into because of a child now, or children, or whatever, comes on your plate that comes along with this child. So these are conversations that need to take place. Money. How much money does this brother have? Yeah, you don't want to talk about it, but ain't no child eating love. Ain't no child wearing love. There's no child that could come to you and say, Mom, I'm hungry, and you say, I love you, and they live off that. So you got to take all of this into consideration. And sometimes women, and I'm telling you, all of these men who be fronting like they got this nigga, they don't be having it. Trust me. They don't be having it. A lot of times a guy will say what he got to or what he feels like he need to get what he trying to get. And that's just being truthful. It's a lot of guys out here that look good. They look like they got it going on. Trust me. Bank account is on, I need help. And that's not shots at nobody. This is reality. I deal with reality. I hope that this is one of the shows that you watch because it's real talk for real people. Nobody want to talk about this. Some people just don't want kids. How about that? For no reason other than that. It ain't about the money. It ain't about the girls. It ain't about the lifestyle change. They just don't want kids. You have people like that. There is people like that in this world that just legitimately don't want kids. They want to live their life a certain way. They had it mapped out. It was not supposed to change from being that way. And that's just what it is. So you got to understand, when you decide to even interact with certain people, these are things you need to talk about. Do you even want kids? Was that something you even talked about from the beginning? Or did you just say, fuck it, I'm pregnant, it is what it is. He gonna have to hold it down. Because there's a lot of that going on. And I'm not saying, some niggas don't deserve it. You get what you deserve. I believe that. It is what it is. Because some niggas, like I said before, is out here lying. So when she get pregnant, she thinking she got a whole bunch of other shit going on, and your ass is lying. So sometimes you got to deal with that too. And it is what it is, But honesty will get you a lot further, Sometimes it was just fun and games. And y'all know that. It's all fun and games until she gets pregnant. And then it's a matter of a whole bunch of other shit. But these are conversations that people need to have in our community, because now you got families hating each other, friends are at war, all type of shit going on because you decided, I'm going to keep this baby whether he wanted it or not. And these are like, it's not a one-sided issue, ladies. I hate when women say that. Oh, it's my body, I do what I want. That's one of the dumbest shits I ever heard in my life. Because this is what you gotta understand. Once that baby is growing inside you, it's not even your body no more. And that's just ask women who have kids. Ask women who have kids who's in control once that baby starts growing inside you. And I'm a grown-ass man and I know that. I have children. I've watched the process. So all that is my body, I do. No, you're going to do what the baby wants you to do it. That's it. She wants you to lay down, you're going to lay down. She wants you to throw up, you're going to throw up. That's who's in. So it's not even your body. Plus, whatever baby is being created is part man too. It's part of that man. So, once y'all have sex and you get pregnant, it ain't his baby, it's my baby. No, it's still y'all baby. But us as a community, we got to stop being so fucking ignorant and start having these conversations before we get to the point of all the extra bullshit that goes along with this. That's what you got to understand, ladies. It's a bunch of, I can sit all day and give you 50 fucking thousand reasons why a man may not want to have a baby. But I'm just trying to give you the basics, some of the core reasons. Of course, you got idiots out here that's just fucking the fuck. Don't care about kids, never planned on them. If I have one, fuck with it. Yeah, you have those. We're not talking about those. We're talking about logical people, logical thinkers. People that take the time to understand life, who's been through things, who had, financial issues, who had physical issues, who had all type of things happen to them and to children and to people in their life, who know how important it is to be responsible for another person's life. Then the conversation changes. Then it becomes less, let me prove a point. Let me show them, he saying he wasn't fucking me. Everybody gonna know now. And now you got a whole lifetime of proof and a whole lifetime of headache. Sometimes it's just not worth it, ladies. And like I said, I'm not telling you what to do. Whether I'm pro-choice, pro-life, or they don't fucking matter. Because I'm not a professional. I'm not a fucking doctor. Can't tell you what to do with yourself. You understand? I'm just trying to kick it with you for a minute, give you some real life shit, because having these babies out here and they just out here, that shit ain't cool. You know? And it is what it is. You got niggas who really try and get the scumbag shit of the stick. Well, the shitbag end of the stick because they not with the lady no more. Yeah, you got those. You know, you got child support as a punishment. Not because they really, you got a lot of that shit going on. But it all stems from a conversation that could have taken place. Even before and after the baby is born, there are still conversations that can take place, people. We don't have to be toxic because a child is born. We don't have to be toxic because a child is not born. We need to be more logical in our thinking. We need to process what's going on in our lives and make a logical decision. Stop fucking for fun. Stop having babies and then figuring it out. You know, my parents did it. All of our parents did it. Wasn't none of us planned, and I'm not saying plan one. What I'm saying is once you're secure, then if it happens, it happens. But let's put ourselves more in position to breed positivity into these children, having them growing up in negative ass environments because motherfucker made a decision based on a whole bunch of other shit instead of what made sense. That's all I'm saying. Because it ain't about who is right, who is wrong, or any of that other shit once the baby hit. It ain't about who wanted it, who didn't once the baby hit. That's all I'm saying. You know? Figure it out, people. Let's talk about it. Let's have these conversations in the neighborhood. Let's stop just being motherfucking following in the footsteps of everything we saw before us. Let's try to make our relationships more healthy for our children, for the women we deal with, for the men that are in your lives. You know? Let's do that. Because once you're having conversations like that, then it changes things. It changes the environment. It changes the children. It changes a whole bunch of shit. So let's try and get back to that. You know? And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like I said, I ain't no doctor, but it's real talk for real people. And that's how we try to keep it, you know? Because everybody talking, but we talk that talk.